Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Ooh, wobbly stick. Hope you're all having a fabulous day, Earthlings, on this fine Saturday. This is my favourite place to be now. I feel a little bit like River, actually, the fabulous River. He's so glamorous and he puts so much effort into every video, you know, his appearance and stuff. Hello, Puddy. Right, today I really want to talk about Meghan and Harry and their campaign to improve behaviour on social media. Hypocritical and astonishing as it is, because an awful lot of her fan base particularly love to behave in an extraordinarily bad way. Now, I hope you can hear me. Oh, this is somebody cooking burgers in the galley. Now, the reason that a lot of us YouTubers talk about a particularly atrocious troll account, I would actually say it is the most prolific troll account that I've ever come across. It has attacked about 30 different YouTubers over the space of, we're coming up to 2 years. This Atalanta of Arcadia troll account began in the summer of 2022, June 2022. You can go and look at it. I mean, I'd kind of advise not to, but if you must, you can go and see. And at the top, I think they're up to 22,500 tweets now. All tweets that are designed to be threatening, insulting, defamatory, well, outright threatening, about a variety of YouTubers. It's hidden everything before March. So, but what you can do is go to look at the Here Piggy Pig Pig troll account, those of you that remember, and you can see all of the tweets there because they're historic. It's incredibly vile troll account. It seems its main purpose was to take out Yankee Wally and Trevor Coult. Those were the two major ones. Now, the reason a lot of us YouTubers are starting to pay attention to this is because the police now have access to this account. It's been going on for far too long. And I wanted to talk generally about Meghan and Harry and how they refuse to denounce people like Christopher Boozy and their behaviour, and the trolling that is done on their behalf. The Sarah Data girl, yes, I've seen a picture of the actual girl that was behind that. Hard to believe, isn't it, those of you who've seen it? She's quite a young, fresh-faced girl. Nothing particularly memorable about her, nothing particularly stunning, but equally, you would, if you passed a girl on the street, you would never think, what a vicious, vile, hideous creature, what lurks in her mind. Perhaps she took leave of her senses because social media can have that effect on people. I've noticed this. People get carried away. I'm a critic of Meghan and Harry's. That is no secret. But sometimes I see things online about Meghan and Harry and I think, whoa, that is too far. There's a line between free speech, freedom of expression, and then you start stepping into the realm of bullying, harassment, death threat territory. I mean, for example, this Atalanta account is integrated with another account called Olivia Cromwell that threatened to put a bullet in mine and my husband's heads. That's not free speech. And they've actually got that pinned. I've also got it pinned to the top of my ex account to show and demonstrate what Meghan Markle followers, some Meghan Markle followers, I hasten to add, because I have come across people who support Meghan and Harry for a variety of different reasons. And they are not all in this sort of little terror squad. But Atalanta is, and Olivia Cromwell is definitely, I mean, threatening to put a bullet in people's heads. That, I think, a 2-year-old could understand. That's illegal. That is illegal. And that person is going to be arrested. I was quite shocked to receive some information sort of via the police that it's connected. And once the real human being behind what was typed there is up before a judge, and that is read out before a judge in the UK, you're looking at the territory of 5 years in prison. They literally said, and they oddly enough copied in the Met Police on it as well. Making false police reports that say Trevor Coult murdered somebody in London, that's illegal. That's not just defamatory. Making another police report and saying that Trevor Coult murdered somebody in Norfolk, that's illegal. For the life of me, I cannot understand anybody, self-respecting YouTuber or person or anyone otherwise, associating with there is no other expression for it, dog shit troll account as Atalanta of Arcadia and Olivia Cromwell X. I just can't understand anybody integrating, tweeting, liking, having a conversation. And believe me, I have screen records of a particular YouTuber integrating and laughing with this troll account. I don't think people really understand the difference between free speech and death threats, harassment and online bullying. I don't think people really grasp or understand the concept of defamation. Defamation is when you say something that harms another person, their reputation, causes them damage, which was a false statement. If it was a true statement, that is not defamation. These people, they seriously don't think the police have access to the accounts. Other people who should be self-respecting, who should know better, are integrating with it. I don't think they realise how much shit they're getting themselves into. People seem to be losing their minds. So let's talk, this is going to be quite an in-depth thing. Let's talk generally about mental health. It's a hot potato, isn't it? It's a hot topic, mental health generally. And it seems to me lately that it is being used as a licence to do what the hell anybody likes. You know, oh, I'm going to put a bullet in your head. Oh, I've got PTSD. No, PTSD is not going to get you out of trouble. I mean, there are people out there issuing death threats at the moment as we speak over a parody. You cannot sue for defamation for parody. You cannot be arrested for doing a parody. There is a widow right now, Gertie Rude, who is on the receiving end of some really nasty behaviour. And also, YouTubers who should know better. One of the biggest and easiest ways to lose your channel in one strike, one single blow, is to try and weaponise your followers. That is in the terms and conditions of YouTube. Apart from, it shouldn't even have to be in the terms and conditions of YouTube. Nobody should weaponise anybody against anybody else. There's a big difference between someone might watch a particular YouTuber and think, you know, I totally agree with what they say or I totally disagree with what they say. And then they use their freedom of speech to go to other platforms and other places to express their view one way or the other. But for someone to weaponise people, to have someone's YouTube channel taken down, even if they do it on another platform, for example, Instagram or X, you will lose your channel. If that's reported to YouTube, you will lose your channel in one fell swoop, like the guillotine coming down. I know none of you guys do behave like this, but some do, or they don't check out what a YouTuber's saying or who they're talking about. Gertie Rude actually has members of her family who are veterans. They've served in the army and they've come out and they've got on with their life. They may have issues, but they don't go around abusing, issuing death threats, behaving how they bloody well like, creating troll accounts on X, and then use PTSD as a shield, like it's going to protect them against anything. And I see some big veteran accounts are joining in with these trolls, who they are going to be arrested. And then if you are doing this mistakenly, you need to double check who the hell you're getting into bed with, because it's going to look very, very bad. And I see this, you know, oh, someone served in the army for a year 100 years ago. Oh, they're a vet, got PTSD. What the fuck from? Graham was in the army in the 70s. I've never once heard him say he's got PTSD. I've never once heard him try and use it as a shield for bad behaviour. Not that Graham behaves like these twats. And that's what they are. And I mean, I see in the newspapers some poor guy set fire to himself yesterday in America because he'd clearly become so wound up into some sort of theory. They say it was because his mum died. I don't think so. I think it's social media drove the guy so crazy he set fire to himself. I see people in comments on other forums get so emotional, begging for the death of another human being, begging for the arrest of another human being. They become so wound up by lies and bullshit that's all over social media. I have actually seen people get so wound up, that they wish harm on Harry and Meghan, and I don't agree with that, and I don't condone that, not for a second. Largely what I analyse is their public, well, all I can analyse is their public persona, because as I've said many times before, I've never met Meghan and Harry. I can only go on their actions, their conduct, what they do in public, and their PR, and how newspapers treat them, talk about them, publish stories. That's all I can do. And for that, me and my husband have been on the receiving end of a death threat, double death threat. Lady C has not escaped this Atalanta of Arcadia. Jesus Enrique Rosas, Popcorn Planet, Steph the Alternate, Sue Smith, horribly. Duchess of Sussex. I believe there are now police reports on the other side of the Atlantic because it's a shared login account, Atalanta. That's my belief. It's more than one person. It's quite clear from their tweets, the times that they say, night, night, sleep tight, whether it's UK time, USA time. There are obvious telltale signs. I'm astonished at how much a lot of us have got right about the person, the main person behind it, that has been confirmed by police. But these things take time. I watched the Duchess of Sussex's video this morning and I read a few of her comments, largely supportive. But some people were like, we don't want this Twitter drama on YouTube, or what's this got to do with anything? It has a lot to do with it. I really wish I could share more of what my belief is and also of what I actually know for a fact. But this road will lead back in Markle's direction. Believe me, and hence the reason for the interest in all the YouTubers. So you may find more and more YouTubers talking about Atalanta of Arcadia and what's been going on. Because isn't it interesting that all the people targeted are people who criticise Meghan and Harry? The top victim initially, the top two victims initially of this Atalanta of Arcadia were, according to Taz, and Yankee Wally. And it was called Taz and the Brothel Keeper. And it used to integrate with another one called Caris Cartier and another one called Piglet. And then it changed its handle to Atalanta of Arcadia. And then Trevor Coult became the major target. And now, at the moment, it would seem Trevor's the top target and I'm number 2. And more recently now, Duchess of Sussex, they're really going for her. And each time they tweet, they just don't understand. It's another charge. It's another charge. For the life of me, I could never, ever endorse such behaviour or say, oh, I love Atalanta. I speak to Atalanta offline all the time. Atalanta speaks the truth, really. Ask the 30 YouTubers if Atalanta of Arcadia speaks the truth. Ask the police if Trevor murdered someone in London and then in Norfolk. Why hasn't Trevor been arrested? Where's the dead body? Atalanta speaks the truth. Atalanta fights for truth and justice. Really? What kind of vigilante for a start? And then to just pump pure bullshit out there. Now, come back to Meghan and Harry and their platforms, and they keep saying that they want better behaviour online. My God, can you imagine the headlines? Can you just imagine? So there's a lot of people looking at Atalanta of Arcadia at the moment, and some other little no-mark in the States. I mean, just some little idiot that's also involved in it. There are journalists watching the situation. This is going to go on for months and months. But by the time a conviction happens, probably looking a couple of years down the road. And this idiot tweets, oh, I haven't been arrested yet by the FBI. Oh, MI5 haven't kicked my door in. That kind of idiotic stuff. And they attack all manner of people all the time. I mean, if they comment on the way I look, I don't care. They get a freeze frame. Here, I'll give them one now. Like that. And they'll put that up. I don't care about that. I don't care about what people think about the way I look. I don't care. Actually, the sugars they are fully entitled to criticise me, not only about the way I look, but the things that I say and the things that I do in my own life. If I do them in a video, the sugars have every right. I'm a sitting target. But what this account is doing is not that. And I've actually had sugars contact me and say, we're not down for this. We're not into this. I have seen other big veteran accounts who were on board with the troll who suddenly realised when they saw a lot of the sexual stuff that was going up, actually saw a big one say, I didn't join up for this. I didn't sign up for this nonsense. I don't want any part of this. And I have not seen that big veteran account engage or post or have anything to do with Atalanta ever since then. Anybody out there who's self-respecting, who's a YouTuber or a big vet, they support a veteran charity, stay away from Atalanta, for God's sake. I mean, I can only give advice. It's not a warning. I can only give advice, because you can bet your bottom dollar that when the arrest happens, and it is coming, there'll be tears. PTSD. Peter, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean. Please, Your Honour, don't send me to prison for too long. You bet your bottom dollar. Look up any troll account where there's been a conviction. Same old tears, same old bullshit. My stepson included. He went out there. He did I don't know what. God knows what. And he had his door booted in at the crack of dawn. That's what they do before you've got the chance to do anything with devices. I mean, now this is like 3 years later. They have access to devices without actually having to boot the door in. They can get into a lot by remote control. So, I mean, keep going, idiot, Atalanta, and other YouTubers who love to endorse it. Feel free to bully a widow who's got family members who themselves are vets. Oh, go for it. Weaponize your followers and lose your YouTube channel, because that is what's going to happen. It's incredible. People setting fire to themselves, people issuing death threats because social media seems to have got a grip. This is not PTSD. This is not mental health issues. This is social media bending human beings' minds. And the individual behind Atalanta, when it actually happens, I do believe I'm probably alone in this, but I am going to try and say to the authorities, this person needs psychiatric help. I don't think sending people like that to prison is helpful. I don't think it will do any good. I certainly don't think the prison community could do with someone of that derogatory dog shit nature in their community. They wouldn't want that. They need a padded cell, really, some injections, maybe Broadmoor, somewhere like that. They really do. And there are more and more people watching. Well, let's hope for Harry and Meghan's sake it doesn't lead back to them. Thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for listening.